15 CS2 mechanics that you can abuse to win more games. Everything from how to abuse hitboxes to get more headshots, to how you can defuse without your wires showing. I will cover everything you need to know in this video. If you're not sure you can trust me, I'm Louis, a 3000 ELO player on Faceit, and I play internationally with Team USA at LAN events around the world. I've included timestamps in the description below, so you can skip ahead or revisit any tip that you like. Now, if you guys didn't know, you can actually wallbang the floor on Nuke to kill anyone that is lower. There's actually a famous clip in NAFPL where someone actually shot through the floor and accidentally headshotted someone. So one thing that you guys can do is use these two lineups to kill anyone planting the bomb. So let's say someone wants to vent dive, go through single door, and plant back silo. One thing you can do is find this line here and line up in between these two little caution lines and just spam either the deagle or the op. Both do work, and you're going to be dealing any damage on anyone planting back silo. Now, this is efficient because most of the time you're going to be mollying door, and they may even run through a molly and take a lot of damage, especially if you do nade it as well. So you should guarantee a kill. But the other popular plant spot is over here towards Astralis, and one way to wallbang this as well is anywhere in this vicinity, you can just spam your deagle around and try to get a nice free kill or maybe a nice headshot dealing a lot of damage, which might make your retake a lot easier. So if you know they are going down lower, don't be afraid to just spam through the floor and try to get some free damage, because at the end of the day, even if you don't hit any shots, it's not really affecting anything at all. So if you guys didn't know, on Dust 2 there's actually a cool way to pick anyone on cat. If you are a CT or a T coming up to the site, you're probably aiming around this headshot angle that people will play in the middle of sight. You can actually surprise your opponents by jumping up on this box like this and peeking anyone that is trying to kill you. This is really good in a 1v1. So if you know someone's coming up cat, instead of swinging to the right, you can simply just jump up on this box and catch them totally off guard. And this peek is so difficult for anyone trying to react because they're going to have to flick up so high to get your head, because you can elevate so fast above the box. Now, a lot of you guys probably don't do this because you're going to be pre-aiming angles when you're entering, but sometimes it's good to just jump around corners to entry, because not only are you going to be dragging someone else's crosshair across their screen, but they're going to have to adjust a lot. And if you have a teammate behind you, he can peek right behind you to kill anyone trying to kill you. So if there was someone sitting right here at corner and I decided to jump around the corner, my body's going to be showing up a little bit higher than head level. So he's going to have to adjust and then adjust to the speed of me going down. And at that moment is when that you can easily peek and just kill anyone that is trying to kill your teammate. Now, hitboxes are a big thing inside of CS2, but what you don't know is that you can actually abuse headshots. So a lot of people love to aim for the head up in this upper region above the forehead, but a lot of people don't actually aim at the neck. Now, it's very important to aim at the neck because it guarantees you a headshot. As you can see right here, you can see the outline of the hitbox of the head. So instead of trying to always aim for the top of the head and sometimes missing, it's always good to aim at the neck level, because if you do happen to miss or be off slightly below where you need to aim, your second or third bullet will actually go up to his head. And I know a lot of noobs just always say aim at the feet because the recoil will just go up to his head. And to be honest, they were actually onto something, because there's a pro Nitro who plays on NRG who actually gives the tip to aim at the neck because he loves to burst. And when he bursts, he gets a nice free easy kill because his bullets are just going up and he doesn't even have to really control the recoil at all. Now, before we move on to even more broken mechanics, let me tell you about the Monkey. Skins Monkey is a CS2 skins trading site marketplace that provides an instant way to get new skins. The favorite thing about Skins Monkey is that I can trade skins that I no longer want and trade it for a skin that is equal value. If you use code LouisCS2, you get a $5 bonus on your first trade. And if you want to buy skins, you can get a 30% deposit bonus plus an extra 5% using my code. The link is down in the description. Thank you, Skins Monkey, for sponsoring this video. If you guys want to outplay your opponents, one thing you can do is throw a decoy grenade inside of a smoke. If I were to drop this decoy grenade where I put this smoke, you're going to see that it's shooting bullet holes through the smoke, and it almost looks like someone is shooting through it. This can heavily outplay an opponent, especially if you have some teammates that have extra decoy grenades. You could throw multiple decoy grenades in the smoke, and it looks like there's multiple people spamming through it. And sometimes in dark areas, the smoke will even light up in certain areas, so it actually looks like someone's sitting inside of the smoke trying to spam holes through it, which can definitely outplay your opponents or catch them off guard if you decide to just lurk around the smoke. Now, there's certain spots on maps where you can actually double smoke a position to make a smoke taller. Now, for example, on Ancient, if we were to smoke instant elbow, one thing that teams can do is come into house. They can line up the other elbow smoke and rip it in the same exact spot, and this will make the smoke a little bit taller than what it was. As you can see, it's going to bloom a little bit taller, and it's also going to make it thicker. So one thing, especially on Ancient, if someone does try to break the smoke, if this smoke is out just a little bit more, they're going to be swinging into this, and since the smoke is going to be a little bit thicker, they're not going to have any vision. Now, if you guys don't know, an incendiary grenade actually has less damage when it starts spreading on the ground. So if I were to drop this molly on myself and run through it, I would lose less damage than if I dropped it, let it sit for a while, and then run through. As you can see on your screen, as I compare them, there's a huge difference. So if you are trying to pop on any map, like maybe Mirage B apps, having no armor also makes you have less damage. So if you are on an eco round and you are popping and you hear a molly just pop out into the air, the best thing to do is to start running as soon as you know the molly's coming, because you're going to be taking less damage as soon as it hits the ground rather than just letting it sit there and then burning you for more damage than what it needs to actually burn you. Now, something that a lot of pros did on Overpass was abuse graffitis, and one way you can abuse them is by faking it as an opponent. So one good place on Dust 2 specifically that you could place a graffiti, and the zombie graffiti actually works best for this, is somewhere like on a back wall, like back plat. So if people were coming out towards B, they're going to see an object that actually doesn't fit, and especially if they're playing on lower resolution, they actually might shoot and think this is a head. So you can definitely abuse this by placing graffitis around the map, like maybe here, so then when the CTs come out, they might think you're playing here. Or maybe you could place them over towards cat, like on any of the walls, so when they are swinging out, they're seeing something that isn't supposed to be on the map, which might catch them off guard and make them, you know, either flick towards it or shoot towards it and give away their position. Now, something that I don't see a lot of players abusing is the no skybox, but they really don't think about it in an extraordinary way, and this is a good mechanic to really think about when you're playing CS2 actively. So one good example for flashing mid to B, I have a lot of teammates that are flashing through the smoke like this, and it's getting me killed a lot because I'm having to turn from the flash. But if I wanted to abuse no skyboxes, I could simply just flash over this building and get a nice free kill on anyone scaling up towards window, either turn looking at the CT smoke, or they don't even hear the flash, so when I do pop through, they don't even know that I'm actually going through the smokes. It's also like flashing over mid. If maybe I have a teammate on cat or mid doors and he wants to peek towards top mid, I could simply just flash over all the map right here that you couldn't in CSGO and blind anyone that's walking down mid and get my teammates easy free kills. Now, a lot of people don't know that you can actually hide the wires when you defuse. A lot of times when you're defusing, the T's know that you are because of the wires, but if a bomb is planted on the side of a box, you can actually get on the corner of it, look into the box, and your wires will disappear. This only doesn't work just on Dust 2, but it also works on Mirage, Nuke, any other map like Ancient as well, where you can place a bomb right beside the box, and this will help you defuse the bomb. So if anyone is trying to play for the wires and spot if you are defusing, I'll just look into the box and it'll be totally hidden, and then you'll get a free defuse without even trying to win the round. Now, one thing that people don't abuse is triple boosts. I feel like these aren't used a lot, and especially on a map like Dust 2, there's spots where you can get triple boosted up into door and peek into lower, and there's so many more on a lot of different other maps. Now, Dust 2 is just a good one because there's also one where you can peek towards upper B. If you do have an op, you can get triple boosted behind this box as well and peek anyone that's peeking plat, or you can also peek behind the long door smoke, or if you do get boosted up enough, you can just peek over and kill anyone at corner. But there is a lot of nice triple boosts out there, so I really recommend that you do look them up. And these little gimmicky triple boost, double boost, whatever they are, it will guarantee you a nice easy round win, or they might just boost your average kills because you're catching your enemy off guard. If you guys are ever having a hard time fighting in mid, one thing that you guys can do is abuse one-way smokes. Now, one-way smokes are going to create a headshot angle for you, but it's also going to make it harder for the T's to see you. So on the third step here in Underpass, if you jump out window at the start of the round, you can lay down a smoke and just play behind this, and it's going to create a nice one-way for you on the edge. JL loves to use this smoke. He also likes to drop it on the second step as well because the smoke is going to be a little bit lower, so only his head is going to be visible inside of this smoke. But anywhere you throw this smoke, it's going to give you a really good advantage. So if I throw it on the second step like this, you're going to see that I'm just going to have a nice head level angle right here, just sitting behind this smoke, and it makes most of my body not visible to the T's. And then after I do get this kill, I can either hide in the smoke or I can play around it up here. So a lot of noobs, when they jump up on ledges, they take this little space where they're inaccurate when they're jumping up. So as you can see here, if I'm trying to jump on this box, if I see an enemy up here on cat, I'm not going to be able to shoot him. So one mechanic that you can abuse is a little bit of a skill jump, where you can time your crouches correctly, where you can instantly jump on these boxes. So if you do see someone, you'll be able to instantly just jump up and be able to kill them. Now, each box will be a little bit different with the timings, but the more you get it down, you will fully understand on how you can take advantage of this. Like for this ledge on Ancient, for example, this one is just an instant crouch up where you don't even really need to stand up at all besides the last second. And some of these are a little bit different that you will need to practice on, but there's a lot of places on every single map that you want to be able to use this, especially on Ancient because of the jump up boxes and this ledge right here, where if you're trying to jump up either looking towards mid and you don't want to be caught off guard by someone jumping up, or maybe you're a CT trying to look over a smoke and you want to be able to instantly jump up and not be inaccurate. Now, some of you guys might not know, but the T's actually don't gain any money if they die after the round ends. Now, when the round ends, a lot of T's like to save, especially towards their spawns, either T spawn or CT spawn on every single map. The one thing that you guys can do if you're on CT side is try to wait if you know their position and kill them after time. A lot of pros love to do this and abuse the mechanic because if someone buys down and let's say they only have $150 left, if they survive the round, they're going to get money for the next round. But if you actually kill them after the round ends, they're going to spawn it with only $150, and it's going to affect their economy a lot. So when you are hunting and trying to find a T that may be saving, make sure you're trying to find the position and then wait until the round is over so you you can maximize the economy and just totally screw over the T's and make it so they have to double eco 2 rounds in a row. Now, this mechanic is good to talk about, especially on Dust 2, because rushing B is so popular, and you can actually take less damage through an incendiary grenade if you don't have armor. So if I were to rush B on an eco round without armor and they insta-mollied B, I could run through this and take a lot less damage. So when you are on eco round and you want to rush somewhere that you know you might encounter a Molotov, it's very important that you don't buy armor, because you're going to be taking less damage. And if you use proper flashes, you're going to be able to get the entry kill and win the round for your team by basically not buying armor and abusing a crazy mechanic inside of CS2. If this video helped you, make sure to check out this video on 2 HE lineups for every map in CS2 by clicking the video on screen now.